All right, we got a lot to talk about today. Major price action overnight. Coinbase hits 92 cents. We saw 70 plus cents, I think it was, on Fiat Link for a quick second, but right now we're in the 60-cent range. But we have a lot to talk about, not only the next 12 hours and what it may mean for the crypto space, Bitcoin and XRP, but also some news from PayPal that I think has some heavier implications, which could be wonderful for all of us. Let's go ahead and roll that intro and get into this.
This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Okay, welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me at Backup Bradley on Twitter above at the top of the screen and everything that we're talking about here today. And shout out to Michael Val 5 Links and Bond Crypt and Jesus Tejero and DJ Peter Vass and everybody else that sends amazing information. You guys are wonderful. Appreciate you so much. This one here is not so much fun to talk about, but it's what I like to call adulting, right? Adulting sometimes is not very fun. But, we have to do it. And in the regards to our investment, I think we want to find and do the right things to make sure that we keep as much of it as we possibly can, especially what we've been through over the last 3 years in a bear market. So for the second year in a row, the Internal Revenue Service says, this is a warning, cryptocurrency investors, they have underreported their holdings, which means the IRS knows what we hold, and they're telling you, we're not guessing. You haven't reported what you said you have. Okay, so a couple things here. One, Clinton Donnelly has a very good Black Friday 3 months for free special with a 3-tier buy-in that you can get for what makes sense, the best plan for you. Please check out that link. You will see it. It'll be the Black Friday special. It has a tornado link in it. And you can grab that. The keyword is tornado, and you'll use that. But check out what he has. Clinton Donnelly is the foremost authority on crypto and taxes in this entire space. There is no question about it. I've searched high and low. He is absolutely the foremost authority. Make sure you check that out. Links in the description and comment box. And let's keep moving here because we have a lot to talk about price, percentage moves, what is taking place. There's a couple things I want to talk about that a technical analysis person has discussed a little bit about the next 12-hour window to pay attention to. But let's look at this right now just to set the stage. XRP has gained another 50% of value since yesterday and even neared 80 cents before retracing slightly to 70 cents on a weekly scale. XRP has skyrocketed by 135% and returned to the top 3 spot in terms of market cap. 135%. I mean, this is just remarkable watching this. I tell you, it feels so good. XRP price spiked to over 90 cents on U.S. cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase on November 24th. Now, one of the things I thought was funny is Coinbase has been having some issues with the site staying up. It's been crashing and not working properly. Then they had a status page to let you know the status of the Coinbase, and the status page went down. So I don't know what's going on with Coinbase, but I hope they get it worked out soon because I do like Coinbase and I use it frequently. So no harm to them. But, during this time, this is why, when you've been in the space for a while, I know a lot of us are on many different exchanges, and that is one of the big reasons why I am. You get a problem with one exchange, move to another one. 61 cents right now is where we're sitting, 0.6121. That's where we're sitting on the numbers right now. You can see the market is taking a breath. We were, I guess, pumping pretty hard last night, and now we're pulling back just a bit. And look at this. Now we are up 114%, 0.5. 114.51% on the 7-day. And we are up currently right now 19.91% on XRP price in the 24-hour right now. Now, where I want to take you here is this. This is Crypto Bull. And Crypto Bull is really, really good at technical analysis. And these payment channels here are where we are right now. If you look at this, we are currently floating right now at 61 cents inside the 59.70 payment channel that he's put up here. And shout out to Crypto Bull. I sent him a DM and I hope he, gets it, because I'm sure he's getting a lot of people sending him messages right now, because his technical analysis is just solid. And when he puts out a chart for all of us to look at, it's very, very clean. And the other thing I wanted to say too, just as a sidebar, and I know we all know this, but this is not financial advice in any way from him or me. But this is just a really good look at where we are at the market, where the support and resistance levels are. So looking at these channels, if we get more strength and we stay in this 59 cent, 70 cent channel like he's showing us here, then we could make that push up to the next channel in that 87 cent, $1, right? Now, maybe that's today. Maybe it's over the next couple days. We don't know, right? But I know one thing. If we hit a dollar mark, you can forget it. This market's going to go nuts. I mean, it's going to go ballistic. When crypto hits a dollar mark in a bull run, it's just like all hands on deck. I mean, you won't believe what'll happen, because I remember what happened last time. And what is going on now is much bigger than 2018. I really do feel like that is one of the takeaways we can all take away from this. Is I don't care what kind of breath the market takes right now, this ain't over by a long shot, because this market has more access than it ever had 3 years ago. And, regardless of the clarity issue that we need for XRP, as you could say, and as DAI rightfully says, never underestimate the spirit animals in the trading markets, in the buying markets of crypto. That is for damn sure. So we'll keep an eye out on that. But right now we're floating in this first range. This is where we are. And we want to see if we get outside of that 70 cent range. Do we make enough buying volume to get us into that next channel, which will be 87 cents to $1? Now, with that being said, this is Crypto Bull himself, and you guys should definitely follow Crypto Bull. Here is how I see the next 12 hours playing out. Bitcoin will hit a new all-time high. And by the way, it is at $19,211.69 right now. So it is definitely poised for that moment. And then he says, which that all-time high for Bitcoin will create volatility in the market. This volatility will take XRP to around 50 cents. So he's saying a potential pullback because of the volatility of Bitcoin, like getting that push, and then XRP taking a breath, seeing a little bit of sell-off, coming back down to 50 cents solid. And then after Bitcoin settles, XRP is on its way to breaking $1. Now, we don't know whether that'll happen or not, but I'll tell you something. I'm just telling you, Crypto Bull has some great analysis. And I don't say this because, he has to be right. He doesn't have to be right. But I think he makes a great point here to watch what is going on, correlation between the Bitcoin dominance of buying pressure and what is happening with the altcoins like XRP. So that is definitely something to pay attention to. And we got a few more things to pay attention to as well. And this gets bigger and goes international. Japanese financial giant SBI Group is introducing a cryptocurrency lending service through its crypto-related subsidiary, SBI VC Trade. We also know what do we know about SBI? Yoshitaka Katao, an investor in Ripple, sits on the board at Ripple. Also an investor and part owner in R3, right? Sits on the board there. He's on a board in China about blockchain and crypto adoption and all of that. And then we also know that SBI has said that at the end of November, they intend to test the asset XRP in the FX market. That is in the currency market for settling transactions. And really testing it basically, essentially, like a bridge currency in that market. That is XRP's intended use. That moment could happen anytime because they pointed to the end of November, which is exactly where we are. So now, that is very... I can't even stress to you how much to pay attention to SBI out of Japan. Okay. Now, something good is coming, not only with SBI, but look at this. Over the past 24 hours, around 600 million XRP have been moved by Ripple's Chris Larsen and top crypto exchanges, while 1.8 billion XRP have been wired by UpBit alone. Now, I just put hashtag something good is coming. I mean, look, the Hiding Out Now sent me a message, and shout out to him, who is now Gulag Inmate. He's changed his name there. But I wanted to give him a shout out because he always catches the total circulating supply when it changes. And it came up last night, 20 million XRP added to the total circulating supply. And the price continued to run last night. Now, that should tell you that every time I've been saying when this total circulating supply comes up on XRP, that they're preparing for more liquidity demand. Well, that obviously is the case because they came up at total circulating supply and they were preparing for that liquidity demand so the price doesn't spike and get too volatile, because they want the price to come up, but they also want to keep a very tight, reliable trading range so the people who intend to use it to make payments as a bridge currency to settle, like let's say MoneyGram, can experience the smallest amount of volatility exposure that they're going to get for that 3 to 4 seconds that they're actually using it in that transaction. Now, obviously, Ripple and MoneyGram and everybody else involved, it's in their best interest to see the price come up. So don't take this as a negative. It's just that they want to keep the volatility under control as much as possible in a free market. So, all right, so now coming here to this is massive, and this is massive. Let me just let the CEO of PayPal talk to you about what he's saying, and then let's discuss this. It is, I believe, even bigger than what he's directly pointing to.
But very importantly, early next year, we're going to allow cryptocurrencies to be a funding source for any transaction happening on all 28 million of our merchants.
Wow. I got news for you. That is massive right there. It really, really is massive. Think about that. Listen to what he says, and then let's talk about this.
But very importantly, early next year, we're going to allow cryptocurrencies to be a funding source for any transaction happening on all 28 million of our merchants. And that will significantly bolster the utility of cryptocurrencies.
Well, he's absolutely right. But let's talk about this, because there's two ways that this goes. Okay. Okay, so what he's saying is they're allowing you to use your crypto holdings on PayPal to pay for something with a merchant, which means that there more than likely is going to be a cash out moment. Let's say if I have $100 worth of Bitcoin in my PayPal app and I want to use 50 of that to pay for something with a merchant. Well, you're going to be cashed out of $50 worth of that, and that's going to be turned to cash, and that will go directly to the merchant. So you'll be funding the source of any transaction with your cryptocurrencies in your PayPal application, right? Now, there's one or two things here, okay? If we go with the current tax structure, then that means whatever you cash out on your cryptos, if you had gains on those cryptos or losses, you will need to report those at the end of the year. So in other words, if I paid for that $50 that I had to pay that merchant, and let's say that the Bitcoin that I had in there, it was only $50 that I put in, but I experienced $50 worth of gain, which gave me the $100 of Bitcoin. Well, if that happens enough throughout the year to the tune of more than $600 in gains, you're going to need to claim the capital gains taxes on that. So not only did you pay the $50, right, to the merchant, but at the end of the year, if you had more than $600 in gains in crypto, you're going to need to claim capital gains on that, which means you will pay an additional percentage of tax on that in the current structure. However, if they're about to declare cryptocurrencies money, this could possibly change. think about the notion that you now have 300 million users on the PayPal app, and a good portion of them are in the US. I want you to think about how difficult and how hard it would be for most of the users of the PayPal platform now using to buy crypto. Imagine their struggle trying to understand that they have to pay capital gains and there's a tax implication at the end of the year of all these lunches and payments I made through merchants using my Bitcoin because it went up and I was able to just use it out of convenience and not use my cash, right? If they declare it as money, and by the way, as of October 28th, the Federal Reserve and FinCEN, regulatory agency connected to the Treasury, has submitted and proposed a rule that would amend the definition of money in those agencies to explicitly include virtual currencies. I do not think that that is a mistake. I do not think that that is just some willy-nilly little minor detail. I think the reason that they're amending those definitions is so they can change the tax structure for the assets. If we're right about this, we're about to see a huge explosion in the cryptocurrencies. Because if you can call cryptocurrencies truly money and have that exchange happen, then I'm telling you right now, you're going to see an explosion in cryptocurrency that you've never even dreamed of. But we don't know that that'll happen. So I want to temper that. But at the same time, I'm starting to lean into the idea that I don't know how responsible it would be to all of a sudden just expect 28 million merchants, or I'm sorry, 300 million PayPal users to just understand from the privacy statement and the agreement that they probably just checked the box on and didn't read, that they're going to be accountable for capital gains of anything over $600. But, you know, I digress. We will see what happens there, but I think there is a potential that with the information from the Fed and FinCEN and what he's saying here, that we may see crypto roll out and get a currency designation across the board. And if that happens, I think you'll see a crypto boom like you've never seen in your whole life. But we'll temper that and see how it shakes out. But it's something that could definitely be very, very big. And, you know, sometimes when they're preparing for a new thing, they start to show it to you this way. And I'm not trying to put a flag on the moon, but it's something to pay attention to. Just like this. Don't forget that I really didn't like this title as much as the original news. Ripple wants to work with central banks to introduce CBDC support on the XRP ledger. No, it's not that Ripple wants to. They have been. And the XRP ledger as open source technology for stablecoin issuance by central banks is something that central banks are looking at doing. They look at it by themselves. They call Ripple and talk to them about it, to the tune that Ripple is now hiring a senior director for that task. And I tell you, there is another massive thing that's coming that, look, I mean, it could make 60 cents look like a freaking joke. You know what I mean? If they collectively decide to issue stable coins on the XRP ledger, it's going to drive so much utility, volume, and obviously by default, a move in price to adjust for that massive uptake to the system, that it would be exactly what we're all waiting for. And I do believe that moment will come at some point in the not too distant future. Now, I want to remind everybody there's a big meetup coming on December 2nd, 7 p.m. at Thirsty First. This is Steve and Joni Gould-Bronson putting this together in St. Petersburg, Florida at 119 First Avenue North. And I will be live streaming to that event. They're going to have us on all the TVs in the place. And we're really grateful for Thirsty First doing this, and Steve and Joni Gould-Bronson. I hope if you're in the surrounding area, you will join them for a great XRP meetup. And we will be streaming that live while we are there. And if you are able to go, it will be really great so we can see some faces and put some faces to the names, right? That would be really nice too. So, all right, look, that's going to do it for me. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, leave a comment below, share with somebody you know. Check out all the links in the description box and the comment section. There's some really great stuff in there. Again, the Clinton Donnelly Black Friday special. There's a Black Friday special from Ledger Nano's having like a 40% sale. Check that link out. And then there's also a Black Friday special going on right now with Pure VPN. Help hide your anonymity online. That is one of the many layers of protection I use when I'm online. Make sure you check all those trusted and vetted links out. And I will catch all of you on the next one.